So let's work on problem number 10. So we can see that problem number 10 reads, Rashad is filling a toy box with wooden blocks that are each a unit cube in size. He filled the bottom layer of a toy box with 15 wooden blocks. He then stacked 2 more wooden blocks on top of the bottom layer. The partially filled toy box is shown below. So, what was the total volume in cubic units of the toy box? So looking at this box, we have to remember that the total volume, the volume of the box is when it's completely filled. They are not showing us that completely filled box. We need to figure it out. So let's start off with our sentence. The question says, what was the total volume in cubic units of the toy box? So I have the sentence. The total volume is cubic units. So again, when we're thinking about volume, we want to be thinking about our formulas. We know that we have 2 different formulas that we can use for volume. We can use volume equals the area of the base times height, or we can use the formula volume equals length times width times height. Whenever we're using a formula, we know that we want to follow the steps of copying the formula down, substituting our values in, and solving. And thinking about that substitution can sometimes help us to decide which formula we want to use. Do we want to use the area of the base times height, or do we want to use the volume equals length times width times height? For this box that they give us, this toy box, they tell us that the bottom layer of the toy box is 15 wooden blocks. They are telling us that area of the base. And if I look, I can see and I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then that hidden one is 15. So they are giving us the area of the base. If we weren't sure, they also give us enough information to figure out the length and to figure out the width. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that volume equals the area of the base times height formula, because it will save me a step. It will save me a multiplication step, and I won't have to figure out the length and the width. So I have my formula. I now need to substitute. So I know that volume, I don't know my volume, so I'm going to keep my V, is 15. That area of the base, I'm substituting 15 in for that big B, and my height. And when I go back to my problem, I can see that I had that first layer and then the 2 more. I had that first layer and then the 2 more. I know that my height is 3. So I have 15 times 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my last step of solving. 15 times 3 is 45 cubic inches. So I can put that into my sentence. And when I read that the total volume is 45 cubic inches, and looking at that box and thinking about adding another layer of 15 and add another layer of 15, it makes sense.